welcome to the B2B orientation. What we're going to be doing in this small clip is taking you through the basic orientation of the B2B system. So let's get cracking and starting on the opening screen. So once we've logged in, around from there. So as you can see from the opening screen here is where the details are put in for your clients. So type of policy, leisure, business or group, area of travel, depending on where they're spending their most time. There'll be future videos about the 80-20 splits in area 1 and the 50-50 splits between everywhere else. There'll be a clip specifically on that. Country most time spent in, obviously the country's most time spent on the itinerary, and you've got those options down there. Across to departure dates, the departure dates are from the day that the client is leaving Australia, and the return date is the day that they return to Australia. Most notably here, be very cautious of planes, for example, leaving from America, return to Australia 2 days later. So the return date would actually be the day that they return on land in Australia. For this exercise, we're just going to put in a date for 15 days. Then up by traveller's age, you can choose by date of birth or by age itself. So for quick quoting, where you don't have specific dates of birth, you can still quote based on the ages for the adults. If you have more than 2 adults on a policy, then the adding more travellers down here can allow you to add more adults to there. Once all that information's been put in there, you'll notice that other information on this front screen. You've got your sales results on the side here. Nothing about commission, as you'll notice, but a consultant store, as well as the sales and policies sold so far. Then you do have the option of a hide button there. Once all the information is entered, we can go through to the next screen. This will take you through to the actual tailor-making screen, where you can tailor-make the policy for your client. So at the top here, we do have an option of a single trip or an annual multi-trip, which you can flick between. For this purpose, I'm going to stick with single trip, just to avoid confusion. Excesses are options of 0, 100, 250, and there is an option for 500, but you'll notice with your new training that 500 is only available for the essentials product. Cancellation cover has the bands as such down here from 0 up to unlimited, with different increments as we get up. The Your Cover Plus, so we've got the 2 products here under the single Your Cover Plus International and the Your Cover Essentials International policy. Things to note is the main things covered under the policy, as well as these hover boxes, which can give you a brief description of what the add-ons are down the side here. Now, for more of in-depth descriptions, you'll find them in your PDS at the start underneath optional add-ons. So if you need to know a little bit more about that, best place to go to spin out that information a little bit. Getting down to giving the options of both of those to your clients, and you've got to select buttons here depending on which ones they want. Underneath that is the potential to add on existing medical cover, and if you do click on that, we'll go through the process underneath it. Same with luggage cover for adding on a specific item. The ins and outs of how those work are also within the PDS and covered in future videos. In this case, we're going to choose the single trip Your Cover Plus, and we have the slider here, which you can manipulate your discounts basically. So by amending your commission, there'll be future videos around discounting, but this is the place where you can do it. There's also little information buttons that you can choose, which will give you more explanation of those areas. At the bottom, we've got the back button. So if we do have to change the original information, you've got a back button, and then the all-important issue policy when they're purchasing today. Now, with all of these cases, to drag them into a quick docs quote, you would save down the bottom here by choosing the quote to prepare and the save button, which will, once we choose a cancellation cover, will come up and devise a quote reference number for you. So you can put the client's last name or first name or whatever reference you'd like to put in there for you. But this reference number is what we put into the quick docs to bring that in. Essentially, that is the quoting orientation of B2B. We'll see you next video. Thank you.